we are part of Philippine society and
Exactly.
and culture, like siopaw and lumpia and pancit. All these things are part of Philippine culture. It's already Filipino food. I'll tell you pa, the concept of ki came with Chinese immigrants. That's why the Tagalog, that Filipino word for ki, sushi, is from the Chinese term sosi. One misconception of everyone in the Philippines, even some younger ethnic Chinese might even have this misconception that all Chinese are wealthy.
And first of all, Kyung Hee Hwa Chai.
Yes.
Happy Chinese New Year
to everyone.
Yun.
Do you know what Kyung Hee Hwa Chai means?
What does it mean? Can you explain to our
I'll tell you, very
readers?
interesting. Kyung Hee Hwa Chai is Hokkien.
Okay.
Hokkien is South Fujian province language.
Okay.
It's different from Mandarin, but same Chinese roots. Very fascinating. Kyung Hee is congratulations.
Okay.
Hwa Chai is may you get rich or
Yun.
may you prosper.
May everyone
Oo,
get
walang
rich,
biro.
right? Importante yan.
The reason I mentioned it, very fascinating. Chinese culture is, I think, perhaps the only culture or the most optimistic culture in the world, focused on getting rich and getting prosperous.
Yep.
The comedian in America, The Tonight Show ba yun?
Yes, Jimmy...
Ronnie Cheng.
Okay, Ronnie Cheng. Yes.
Ronnie Cheng, Malaysian-born Chinese, went to Singapore, Australia to study, went to America now is a prominent, famous talk show host. He has an entire episode about Chinese culture, being very obsessed with everybody getting rich.
Actually, I wondered, Wilson, why every year our government actually dedicates one day for Chinese Filipino, which is to celebrate this Chinese New Year, right?
Very good.
Why is it so
question.
important?
I'll tell you.
Kahit anong presidente, right?
Yes.
They really celebrate it.
But before we go into that, we have to thank the late Senate President Edgardo Angara, who is, by the way, a customer of Kamuning Bakery. Since bata pa siya, he was the one. Governments have been celebrating it, but not officially as a holiday by law.
Okay.
Yun, holiday by declaration only. It was Senate President Edgardo Angara in the Senate and his son, Congressman Sani Angara, now Education Secretary, who legislated to make it officially every year a non-working holiday. Thank you.
Thank you so
why
much.
may extra holiday tayo.
Right. With the minority, Uncle Wilson, I think we're roughly around 2-3% lang ata dito sa
around
Pilipinas.
2%.
2%. Bakit meron pa rin tayong holiday?
I'll tell you, because it's now a global holiday. It's not only Philippines, it's not only China, Singapore, Thailand, Hong Kong, Vietnam. You go to Vietnam, everything's closed.
Okay.
You go to Korea, it's a big holiday. You go to Malaysia.
Grabe.
I'll tell you, UNESCO last December 2024 just declared it an intangible World Heritage.
It shows China's influence,
yes.
right? It shows China's importance.
Chinese importance, and the culture is thousands of years old. Do you know how many years already the Chinese New Year being celebrated?
In the Philippines or globally?
In the world, 4,000 plus years na.
Really?
The Gregorian calendar that we use from the West, which is 2025, it's only 2,000 plus years lang.
Yep.
But the Chinese New Year has been celebrated more than 4,000 plus years.
That's such an interesting insight to know, no? Kasi I think in the Philippines, parang, I don't know, is it
it's
just
already
me?
everyone's
Everyone's no?
I read in the news, 2-3 million people or more, 4 million went to Binondo daw to celebrate.
That actually falls in line with our topic today.
Yes.
Which is, I think, just to give you some background, right?
Yes.
You are the chairman and president before of Anvil Business Club.
Yes. Now honorary chairman.
Honorary chairman. And you've also organized activities for the Chino Magkaibigan Foundation.
Right? I just helped lang.
Oo, diba?
Actually, the Chino at Filipino Magkaibigan Foundation is spearheaded by Federation of Filipino Chinese Chambers of Commerce and Industry.
Correct.
Yes, led by Dr. Cecilio Pedro.
Okay. So
I'm just one of the many people there helping out.
But you know what I noticed, Wilson, is that you as a journalist, you're in each of these conversations and each of these organizations, right?
Yes, I enjoy
I guess
writing, helping out.
I guess that shows your focus as well to try to bridge these two cultures together, right?
Good
why is that? Diba?
observation.
Why have you been doing this for many years now? Even if it's not easy, of course, right?
Yes.
As a challenge to all.
Kasi I realized even as a kid that we as an ethnic minority, the Chinese in the Philippines as an ethnic minority, has for centuries been misunderstood.
Okay.
Starting with the Spanish colonial era. I blame it to the colonizers when the Spaniards came to the Philippines 500 years ago.
Yep.
They colonized the Philippines and they applied a very racist system in the entire Philippines. Parang apartheid of South Africa. Everybody classified according to race. And legally, the taxes mo and policies in government services applied to different people based on your race. So, the most oppressed, we have the impression the Filipinos have been oppressed, which is true. The Spanish colonizers were oppressive and not very friendly towards the Filipino people. They conquered the Philippines. They stole the resources for 300 years. But the worst treated sector in Philippine society under Spanish colonial rule were the Chinese minority.
Why do you think so? Why were they?
Double.
Is it a fear? Is it a fear of?
Fear of the ethnic Chinese minority because supposedly hardworking, enterprising, will survive any circumstance. Number two, also different culture. They have a Western culture which they want to impose all over the Philippines. In fact, the Spaniards tried to brainwash the whole Philippines saying, your culture is not good, the Western culture is superior. So many people up to now, some, not all, some have still lingering colonial mentality. Some people still believe pag puti yan, pag galing sa Spain, Europe, US, it must be superior or better.
Correct.
Which is not true.
Correct.
And the Spaniards also, when they came here, they had this propaganda saying that the original Filipino culture was supposedly not developed, supposedly backward, not they were the ones who civilized the Philippines. That's why the national hero, Dr. Jose Rizal, was adamant and angry and wanted to research the truth.
Okay.
Pre-Hispanic cultures, pre-Hispanic, there was already culture in the Philippines. And then, one reason pa they did not like the Chinese minority, another reason is different religion. Because when the ethnic Chinese came to the Philippines, mostly Buddhists and Taoists. So in the eyes of the Catholics, these are so-called pagans.
Okay.
Ang tawag pa in the Spanish term, if I'm not mistaken, they use the term infieles, meaning infidels, non-Christians. So many reasons to ostracize and to mistreat. So the Filipinos were mistreated by the Spaniards, but most of the Filipinos became Catholics.
Okay.
So kahit paano pareho. So that's why they mistreated also the Moros or the Filipino Muslims because they retained their cultures and they also had Muslim religion and that's why they were oppressed also under Spanish rule.
In the modern era now, Wilson, right? What do you think what remains to be the biggest misconception of Chinese Filipinos or even Chinese in general among the Filipino population?
Very good question. Before I go into that, I'm going to mention the reason I am enthusiastic in helping any efforts by any civic, business, cultural, educational, whoever group wanting to bridge the gap of understanding about the ethnic Chinese minority, Chinese culture in general. So any efforts towards that end, I'm very enthusiastic. And because I enjoy writing as a hobby, I read a lot, I know a lot of the true culture of Chinese culture. Many misconceptions. One misconception of everyone in the Philippines, even some younger ethnic Chinese might even have this misconception that all Chinese are wealthy. There's a misconception everyone is wealthy.
Totoo yan.
Actually, in our community, majority are middle class. But in the Philippines, if you are middle class, you are considered wealthy. Because unfortunately, tragically for our society, Philippine society is still very socially inequitable.
Correct.
Still socially unjust. There's still a big gap between the few who are rich and the mass majority who are still struggling economically. So actually, the reality is in our ethnic Chinese minority, majority of the people are middle class, upper middle class. Many are struggling also because of the bad economy through the years. Every time there's a political upheaval, every time there's a revolution, there's coup d'etat, there are toxic politics ruining our economy, it affects the business community.
Right.
So that's one misconception. Some people think everyone in the Philippines who are Chinese are wealthy, number one. Number two, some have this impression that the ethnic Chinese are aliens or foreigners. Actually, we are part of Philippine society and culture, like
when people say
siopaw and lumpia and pansit. All these things are part of Philippine culture. It's already Filipino food. I'll tell you an anecdote. When the former U.S. Vice President came here, Kamala Harris, she said this is her favorite, lumpia.
Baka sa Kamuning Bakery rin yun, ha?
Hindi naman. Sa US pa daw. She had a friend yata who cooked this favorite food daw niya.
Okay.
And the former American ambassador to Manila, a Korean guy, Mr. Sung Kim, I read in the news, he said his favorite Filipino food is lumpia.
Grabe.
And this has been considered Filipino food, but everybody knows the origins is the name pa lang, the recipe and the look, it's Chinese origin. It's like us. We are Chinese in origin but Filipino citizens in every way.
Kaya nga,
so there's a misconception.
Ngayon, pag tinira daw yung Spratlys or the West Philippine Sea,
yes.
who do we side on? Sa Pilipinas ba? Or dun sa mainland China? Which is, come on guys, buong buhay nandito ako, right?
And very good you raised that question.
Philippines, right?
You raised that question. Ako ang feeling ko, that issue has been overly magnified and it's not, I personally recommend that it's for the diplomats to talk.
Exactly.
It's not an issue for the public and politicians to have a shouting match, debating match. I personally believe it's for the purview of the diplomats to negotiate and patiently and find a compromise on both sides. Like what Vietnam is doing with China, like what Malaysia is doing with China. Ang ironic about it, the most number of islands and territories occupied that we claim, Vietnam is the one occupying more than what Philippines, Taiwan, Malaysia, Indonesia, and China combined.
Grabe.
More. So, I think a few issues lang Philippines and China have disagreements on, very few. It's like best friends. Best friends can have different NBA teams that they like. Pero you cannot naman every time you talk, every time you eat, every time you drink coffee, you argue and shout at each other over whose NBA team is better, greater, then nothing will happen.
That's a very good sort of like a parallelism, no? Wilson, I want to go back to your first misconception earlier.
Yes.
Everyone's wealthy, right?
Yes.
Let's say we remove wealth from the equation
and
say Chinese Filipinos, let's say, are economically in the same status as Filipinos as well, right?
Yes.
Do you think there would be stigma against Chinese pa?
Yes, because the misconception is still there. The stereotype.
Talaga?
I'll tell you why I say that. I talked to a Jew. A Jewish person.
Okay.
He told me there is no Jewish community in Japan. There are a few Jews, maybe a few Jews.
Okay.
Siguro maybe in the Israel embassy, in the French embassy, or maybe in the American embassy, a few Jews. The American ambassador before to Japan was maybe now is a Jewish guy.
Okay.
But there's no big community, but there are so many stereotypes in media against the Jews in Japan. Misconceptions.
Grabe.
A lot. So this is the problem with misinformation or lack of information. That's where people like me who love to write, who love to read, come in. Ang feeling ko, my feeling is as a writer, as someone who loves to write and who claims to read a lot.
What you do?
Yes,
Come on.
I know things that I should share. So I try to help promote understanding and clear up the misconceptions.
Okay. Wilson, do you think that the Chinoys or the Chinese Filipinos may have a role in Philippine politics? Like, kasi I noticed, no, among all of our politicians, konti lang yung nag-a-apply na Filipino-Chinese. And do you think that's an intentional trend? Or takot sila na hindi ka mananalo from a populatory voting
a very interesting
system,
question.
right?
I'll tell you, you can Google, I hope it is still on the internet because baka when he wrote the editorial, it's not yet so much the online era.
Baka nasa newspaper pa.
Yes, there was a writer, a columnist, famous columnist in Philippine Daily Inquirer. The name was Amando Doronilla. He wrote an entire column recommending, challenging the Chinese minority in the Philippines to produce more politicians who hopefully, he said, will increase the national efficiency of the country and hopefully lessen the corruption and other problems, he said. Because he said, if I'm not mistaken in my memory, he said a lot of ethnic Chinese in the Philippines invest a lot in businesses, do a lot of things for the economy, but very few want to enter the chaotic world of politics. But the problem is sometimes there are a lot of problems in the economy source or originating from our toxic, tumultuous politics. You are correct. Many are not into it, but in the past decades, I noticed more and more are entering politics. More.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's a good trend, hopefully, right? Because I think there should be diversity in mental models as well in our politics, right? Hindi naman yung lahat pare-parehas ng background, pare-parehas ng interests, right?
It's like Mexico. Mexico, the country below US, has a very small Jewish minority.
Okay.
The Prime Minister now, a very good lady, tough and smart lady, Jewish minority member.
Okay.
The Prime Minister of Thailand now, the young lady, daughter of former Prime Minister Thaksin, is ethnic Chinese. The previous one also. And they've done well for their country.
Interesting.
So, not too many in the Philippines into politics, but more diversity, more kinds of people is good.
Okay. I want to flip it this time, Wilson. Earlier, I asked you what are the misconceptions of Filipino to Chinese, right?
Yes.
Now, I want you to
there
wear
are
a
several
hat.
More, huh?
Wear a hat of a Filipino, right?
Yes.
Ano naman do you think are the misconceptions of Chinese Filipinos to Filipinos that you hope mawala or sana mabawasan? Would you have any in mind? Okay.
Another misconception is most Filipinos do not like business matters. Business topics.
Which I think some of the most excelling people are actually very business-minded, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or ano pa?
Yeah, I think one of the things, Wilson, why I brought that up, right? Because I've had circles in the Chinese Filipino society as well who always think that general Filipinos hindi yan nagsisikap, hindi yan kasing hardworking. But I totally do not agree because I have a lot of closer friends, right, who are as excelling, as hardworking, even more hardworking than Chinese Filipinos.
That one naman is, I think, a function of culture and climate.
Okay.
Kasi I remember, I wrote a column in Philippine Star. I remember as a kid, my mother told me na Filipinos by nature do not enjoy saving money. That's true.
Okay.
It's not bad. It's not
exactly,
good and bad.
exactly.
Some people have the idea it's good or bad. Sabi ng mother ko, it's natural. Sabi ko, why it's natural? My mother explained to me, and I wrote in Philippine Star in detail. I got a lot of feedback na nagulat sila. Ang ganda ng explanation daw. Kasi some people think it's good, and some people say, you save, you are good. You don't save, you are bad. That's wrong, sabi ng nanay ko. It's not right and wrong. It's a matter of circumstances. My mother said, the Chinese by nature daw, and maybe by DNA, talagang kahit na mayaman na, even if you're well off na, tend to save money. And non-Chinese, even if you need to save, you cannot save or you don't like to save. The reason now, she told me, because in China now, for centuries and thousands of years, if you do not save money, if you do not save extra food for the future, when autumn comes, when winter comes, my mother said, in China, you will die of hunger, you will die of cold. You will die of hunger, you will die of cold. And my mother explained to me, and this is purely objective reality, nothing subjective or judgmental. In the Philippines, she said, my late mother said, in the Philippines, theoretically, if there are no greedy people, and in that ideal world, in the Philippines, she said, everyone in the Philippines cannot die of hunger and will not die of cold.
Dahil may dalawang seasons lang tayo.
Yes,
right?
The coldest weather in the Philippines is December to January. You won't die of cold. Number one yan. So why do you save? Because in China daw, everywhere in China, kahit na the southern area na walang snow, the place is so cold, you have to save money to buy heating. You have to buy coal. You have to buy things to heat up your house the entire day. Morning, lunchtime, up to evening, up to sleeping, you have to keep heating your house or else you're all freeze to death.
Yep.
And if you're not hardworking, where will you get the money to pay for the heating?
Who knew?
Even if you're a beggar, you have to buy something to heat up yourself.
Exactly.
You have to get something, firewood, anything. You'll die of cold out. My
Kaya
mother said. And it's
Wow.
not only 1 week, 2 weeks, it's several months. And if you're I have been to China before. The first time I saw actually touch snow was in a city called Pingyao in China. I was there during a trip. And then I met Europeans, Italians in the same place. And I could speak Spanish. They only speak Italian.
Yep.
I tried to bluff my way through using Spanish. They could understand me. And do you know what they told me? I could not forget. They told me, it's a Wilson. I said, you also have snow. Why are you amazed? The Italian told me, not as cold as China. Italy daw, Europe, the cold winter is nothing compared to the cold winter of China. It's really cold to the bone talaga. And then, so yun, my mother said,
so saving for survival.
You have to.
Parang ganun yung
so
naging...
it's instinctive na in your DNA.
Grabe.
Every day you have to keep saving and saving.
Wow.
You like it or not, you are smart or low IQ, you're half-witted or genius, doesn't matter who you are, you have to save by instinct. It's already part of the culture. Even if you're wealthy, you're a billionaire, why do you see ethnic Chinese or billionaires na kuripot pa? Number one yun, ha? Number two, my mother
Ayaw palitan yung damit,
yes,
no?
Yes, my mother told me, if you don't save now in China, you will die of hunger. In the Philippines now, impossible. My mother said, impossible in the Philippines to die of hunger because if you're hungry, you just climb up the banana tree. You just go to get malunggay.
Exactly.
You get malunggay.
We're rich with natural...
The whole year, there's no winter.
Exactly.
There's no autumn. You can always grab food in the tree, in the shrubs. There's always something to eat somewhere. But unfortunately, through the centuries, the economic system has become not very fair and all that. So there are now poor people in the country. But theoretically, my mother said, for centuries, for thousands of years, people in the archipelago of the Philippines theoretically will not die of hunger, will not die of cold, even if you do not save. So that's not a misconception. That's actual reality.
Grabe.
Sabi ng mother ko, that's the reason the Chinese are kuripot or thrifty or matipid. It's already built in the psyche.
Yep.
Even if you go to Singapore, which is hotter than the Philippines, you tend to have this habit of saving for the typhoon era. You'll be saving for the possible recession. You're always thinking, what if, what if?
Grabe.
So that's something very
Wilson,
interesting.
I've always dreamed about being able to have a conversation as well with your very wonderful mom.
Oh yes, she told me I was so amazed.
You've always quoted her, and she has such a nice insight time and time again.
One more thing pa, I noticed. Yes, I always interesting. Isa pa, this is another proof that in the Philippines you don't need to save.
Okay.
The concept of key
Okay.
came with Chinese immigrants. Centuries ago, when the Chinese immigrant and trader came to the Philippines, they introduced the concept of susi.
Okay.
That's why the Tagalog, that the Filipino word for key, lock and key, susi, is from the Chinese term sosi.
Correct.
Sosi, do you know why? If you do not save, you don't need to save, you won't die of hunger.
Wala ka nang kailangang i-lock.
What will you save? What will you put in the house to lock that people will steal? Wala kang, you don't pile up gold there or money you save for the next 10 years. You don't have a stockpile of surplus money that you have to save. You just spend today and be happy about it. Nothing wrong about it. That's the reality. So in the house, did you see the bahay kubo? May lock ba yan? The traditional bahay kubo, there's no lock.
What a great point.
There's no lock.
Yeah.
There's no lock on the door. There's no lock on the windows. You just
What a great
open, di ba, for centuries. You freewheeling life. But the Chinese, since they keep saving and saving, when you save, you have to put it in lock.
Yeah.
You have to save extra
guess
food,
that's why,
gold, silver.
You know, that bahay kubo metaphor, di ba?
Yes.
Is also what makes naman the perception of Filipinos being so hospitable. Pasok ka lang.
It's not,
Pasok ka lang,
yes,
di ba?
that's really true naman.
Pasok ka lang, welcome ka,
That's
di ba?
really true, yes. And the weather makes you more carefree,
Wow.
more happy-go-lucky,
Wow.
because when you're cold, syempre you're
Correct.
uptight, you're locked up in the house. You cannot just go out every day. But every day there's sunshine. You just lie on the beach. You just lie under the coconut tree. You will not die. You will not die. So that's what my mother said.
Now it makes me think of a Philippines na walang lock, walang anything. I wonder how that is. Have you ever imagined it that way, no? Everyone's just carefree, everyone's just...
In the future, if you elect Lance Cham, just kidding,
Not at all.
Or someone to be dictator-in-chief of the Philippines, joke lang, to make everybody... that's one thing I want to mention to you, since you mentioned about carefree and no luck. So China, of course, they have locks. I think they're the number one exporter of locks and doors in the world. Everything naman, they're the number one exporter of everything. One thing I noticed in China and in all Confucian culture societies, Confucian culture meaning all societies in Asia influenced by Chinese in Confucius culture, no guns for older police. No guns for, China pala, no guns for the police, but everyone, Confucian cultures, they discourage private ownership of guns. You go to Japan, you go to Taiwan, Hong Kong, Macau, Singapore, Korea, and Vietnam, no widespread private ownership of guns, shotguns, rifles. Unfortunately for us in the Philippines, we are copying the American system, which is allowing priority for personal rights over society's welfare. So we are a little bit copying them. We are not as worse off as them. They have the most horrible gun record. They have, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they have more gun ownership than they have people in the population, or equal.
Wow. Today you've broken down so many what do you call this? Like concept like SUSE. You know, who would have known SUSE, gun ownership and climate?
Hikaw
Hikaw too?
Yes, he is
correct.
ear.
Here, correct.
Cow is hook.
Oh, wow.
Hikaw.
Grabe.
The
Deeply,
Chinese.
kala ko Shanghai lang yung
Hindi,
galing
hikaw.
sa
Ay,
China, right?
Lumpia, hindi lang lumpia. Siopaw din also,
Pansit. Of
siomai.
course, pansit. Yep.
One more thing. Taho. The favorite street food that we eat, taho.
Correct.
The taho,
Tauhu.
soybean o tauhu, taho, tokwa, invented, and toyo.
Toyo din?
I'll tell you.
Taoyu. Okay.
Toyo or Taoyu soy sauce is a Chinese invention thousands of years ago. And I'll tell you, I love food. I could eat 10 times a day. I'm not kidding. I could eat 10 times a day. Alam mo, I researched. I love food. Before the Chinese traders and immigrants came here like 1,000 years ago or 500 years ago, hundreds of years ago, before the Spaniards came, we already had adobo in the Philippines. But using suka
Correct.
or vinegar.
Adobong puti.
That's the original Filipino adobo. The original Filipino adobo is using vinegar, no soy
Sa atin
sauce
din ba
yet.
yung MSG?
I think
Kasi
so.
lahat ng, our all Chinese food may MSG.
Not in Kamuning Bakery Cafe. We have some Chinese foods, no MSG.
Ganun na.
Pero it's
No
not
preservatives.
Bad daw. Sabi nila, not bad daw ang MSG. Some people said, some people don't like it. But no kidding. Soy sauce is one of the great gifts of the Chinese immigrants to the Philippine culture.
Yep.
Toyo.
Galing.
Can you imagine? Patis also. I read somewhere patis also. Fish sauce.
Grabe. Thank you so much, Wilson. I want to
Yes.
end this episode with this question, right?
Yes.
Because I also have a sort of like a dream to
Yes.
connect two cultures together. On
Yes.
my end, I have a lot of friends in Singapore.
Yes.
And I also wanna sort of bridge that culture with the Filipinos.
Yes.
Wilson, with your experience of bridging the Chinese and the Filipinos,
Yes.
these cultures together, right?
Yes.
Would you have any tips? How can we encourage conversations and learning of each other's culture? You know,
Yes.
maybe small steps, right? Do we go to China and the Chinese people go to Philippines to tour? What is the best way to start?
That's the greatest suggestion. I realize people, even ethnic Chinese born and raised in the Philippines, many of us do not understand the rising economic superpower, our neighbor China.
Okay.
We still have this Cold War mentality, archaic stereotype, and old ideas about communist society, backward, restrictive, and all that. When you go there, it's fantastic. It's the most high-tech, modern, very free society. Do not lang meddle in politics. Everything is free. Free, meaning the lifestyle is free. The public transportation is so affordable. It's shockingly democratic for the masses. Food is cheap. Transportation is cheap. It's fun. The technology is fantastic. Have you heard of DeepSeek?
Yeah, of course. Oh, we were just talking about it ni
Yes.
JR kanina, no?
It's open source.
Correct.
It's very fantastic. So, one way to understand the Philippines for China also is for them to come over and visit. Us also, we should also, all of us, should go there at least once a year. Not only to understand Chinese culture and Chinese people, but to understand what is the future of the world.
Okay.
You'd be amazed.
Grabe.
When you are there, you see the future. You actually see and use the future. Can you imagine? I've been invited there recently. Alam mo, and last year also, I was literally shocked. I exchanged some money, put it in my wallet. I had no chance to even use one single time paper money or coins.
Digital.
Anywhere, everywhere. All of them high-tech, all of them cashless. Even the street vendor selling ice cream, selling fruits, everyone
Tap to
online.
pay.
Lahat.
Grabe.
Incredible.
Wilson,
Yes.
given a chance that you could bring one group of people, of Filipinos to China,
Yes.
who would it be? Would it be, let's say, Filipino politicians? Or maybe Filipino scholars? Or maybe some other group? Anything in your mind? If
Me.
given a chance,
Yes.
don't think about the economics, the
Yes.
how much is it, sinong dadalhin mo?
Writers, influencers, journalists who
Media.
could share the story.
Wow.
Yes.
Because you think that would
and influencers.
That would ripple more.
Yes,
right?
and exchange of ideas and information more on both sides. Do you know why Boracay Daw became so famous in China at one time? Before this geopolitics misunderstanding messed up tourism, there were so many people going to Boracay. We didn't know about it. My friend told me about it. He owns a travel agency. Two young showbiz celebrities in China discovered Boracay Daw.
Baka Chris Aquino.
Famous now. Went to Boracay and held their wedding there. They held their wedding there as a reception. It became famous now. So tourism is the best way to improve relations.
Galing.
And let people understand.
Galing. That might be your next chapter, Wilson, right? Of bringing a set of like young journalists,
yes,
right? Maybe to China and
young or even veteran journalists plus influencers. Not only journalists, people who love to use TikTok, Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah. I just want to give a shout out as well to before I was like working with Chinatown TV. So I was like sort of helping out
They're
there.
very good.
Mrs. Ching, Mrs.
Yes.
Lolita Ching.
Yes.
Sort of invited
and Luella
me.
Chan.
Luella Chan, of course. Invited me to go to China.
Wow.
Yeah, but then,
when was this?
I think it was like 2 years ago. No.
Wow.
Kaya lang, I had a problem with my visa, so I didn't push through. But I guess that's what.
Didn't push through.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think that's what they're trying to do.
Very,
right,
very
morphing
good,
the
very
next
good.
generation, right, to see, China, right?
I will ask her to arrange another trip for you. You have to go. We have to go.
I plan to go this year, right? I'm saving up, and I think, yeah, definitely. I
I
think
have a tip for you. You don't have to save a lot. Do you know why? I'll tell you a secret. China is one place that is so affordable for tourists.
Really?
People do not know that. I'll tell you.
better than Japan and Korea. Kasi medyo mahal na yung Japan and Korea eh.
Very expensive, Japan and Korea. China, I'll tell you why. And they have something we in the Philippines do not know too much about. They have youth hostels. International youth hostels all over China.
Okay.
And these international youth hostels are so shockingly affordable. Online yan, with ratings and everything. And they have the best locations in every city in
So it's
China.
like the capsule rooms of Singapore.
No,
It's better.
better than those. Because,
Pero pang youth talaga. Pang
it-
mga
it says
lower budget.
youth,
Correct.
It says youth, pang 20 plus, 30 plus.
Okay.
But there are people na nakikiyouth, wala naman sila, di naman siya mostly young people prefer it.
Yep.
Usually, pag older, they don't want
Yep.
adventure. It's not but they have private rooms, they have dorm rooms. Dorm rooms, not capsule rooms.
This is for tourists?
Only for tourists. Do you know why?
Wow.
I'll tell you why. In China, I'm so amazed. They authorize all places where tourists can stay. That means your place should have a minimum standard. If you don't pass their government
Hindi pupunta ang
standards, no, you are disallowed to allow foreigners to stay.
Wow.
I've tried it.
Wow.
Kasi every time I'm invited, usually they invite me to a 5-star hotel. And sabi ko, sayang naman, I have more time. I will request my host, adjust my flight ticket going home, give me 2 or 3 more days in that area. So I will move to an affordable, nice place and stay. Whether it's private room or shared room, it's so affordable. But the price is not the main thing. The location is often better than 5-star hotel or equal. Number 1. Number 2, near subways. Number 3, all the staff are young people who speak perfect English.
Galing.
In 5-star hotels, they may speak English but they don't talk to you. They're busy going out and out. But in hostels, there's social interaction. There's a room where travelers eat and free breakfast pa. Fantastic. You have to try it. It's fantastic in China because why fantastic in China? Every industry there is competitive. So in order to compete, they have to improve their standards. So
Galing.
affordable already and good standards. You have to travel while they are still not expensive.
Ngayon, alam nyo na, for our viewers, right? Please consider China as the next destination pag magbabiyahe kayo.
2 places I like, China and Europe. Because
Awesome.
China and Europe are very similar. They have long
Really?
histories. They have great different cultures.
Yep.
They have exotic foods.
Yep.
But China beats Europe in food, in peace and security for tourists, affordability, and public transportation.
Awesome.
And safety.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Wilson, for an exciting episode. And tune in to our next episode where we talk naman about tycoons.
Yes.
With Joseph Flores. Thank you, Wilson.